We've got something at the club called a professional development manager, and you sort of go to them and you ask questions and sort of, I guess, try piece together a career path after rugby. We don't get paid like the footballers, unfortunately, so there's probably, for 90% of the players, there's going to be work after rugby. And to be honest, I quite enjoy working anyway, so it was good for me to get involved in something. I was injured at the time and I wanted something to sink my teeth into. University wasn't for me. I tried that first time round and didn't go too well, so I wanted something I was interested in, something I could really sink my teeth into over sort of the year and get away from rugby, almost an escape. And yeah, we landed at RICS. The CPM, Construction Project Management, and then I've signed up some additional ones, which is like contract tendering and stuff like that. So yeah, enjoying it a lot. Well, I was blown away with how, don't know what the word is, but I guess diverse when I was on there and looking at all the courses and all the sort of routes it can take you in what it opens up. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. So I was very impressed. I flew through the first bit. We had to do a case study on a coastal build in Atlanta, north of Atlanta, I believe, in America. So I had to read up on all the legislation and the planning in America and what changes. Something called the RICS, but it was essentially an environmental movement which restricted some builds, which I put into my case study, so I hope he likes it, because I put some time into it. But it was nice. It was nice for me. It was really refreshing to. I enjoyed that at school doing projects. I didn't enjoy a lot of written coursework, which I'm sure is to come, and I have to, as an adult, you can almost grin and bear. But I enjoyed being hands-on from the off and actually researching, finding out about something, and then implementing it into my own project. You know, you take a bit of pride as you get older, and you're in school, you just want to get through it, but I really enjoyed the process. I'd love to do a bit of developing. All my friends are tradies, my best mate's a ground worker, he's top boy at ETM, a waste management and ground worker firm in Bristol. And I'd love to sort of be able to round up all my mates in their respected fields. And I guess, yeah, sort of get a directive moving that put a build together. I don't know what it would look like or where it would be, but yeah, I'd love to, in Bristol, sort of put a stamp on the city, yeah. For me, I chose the built environment because like my dad's a plumber, my friends are all tradies and builders, and they work on construction all the time. They're always talking to me about how much hard graft it is, what to prove them wrong. But I can't do that whilst I'm playing rugby. You know, I can, but I'll probably not be the best on the weekend. So for me, I wanted to understand it more. And yeah, as I said before, I'd like to potentially take on development and bring all of my close friends and family together and potentially do it as a project. I think as times are moving, obviously we need more. We're constantly things being built, don't we? It's never going to slow down in that sense. So for me, from a career choice, I know it's a solid one. We're always going to be developing. Things are always changing. And as we alluded to earlier, I actually find it quite interesting how many different things there were. Whereas I find if you go into a job that is just doing the same for me anyway, same thing every day, like rugby, although yeah, I am playing rugby every day, there's so many different things, academy players, physios, strength and conditioning, all that sort of stuff. And you travel and you meet different people from different backgrounds. And I find if you're doing this line of work, that's going to come hand in hand. So that was what interested me. That was why I was almost straight away, I was latched onto it and I thought, I don't want to hear about anything else. I want to do this. Absolutely, yeah. I think in rugby, it depends where you're at in your career. I mean, if you're 18, you probably haven't had many leadership roles, and that seniority that you get in the squad as you spend time, obviously it pays you back. So some of the old boys, I'm feeling a bit old myself now saying that, but for me, I think some of the skills that I've taken from that, whether it be leadership, communication, or just the hard work and the work ethic you need to sort of put into these projects, I think that's easily transferable. And as I said, it's quite intimidating at the beginning, but once you actually sink your teeth into it, you realise how much you can bring what you've learned in rugby into this world, as it works everywhere. Well, I think module 3 or 4 is leadership. So I'll enjoy that one, leadership and communication. I think I'll probably thrive in that one. I'd like to think. If I fail that one, that'd be the catalyst. But reading through in the first module, which was essentially a brief on project management in general, they spoke about that a lot, and I didn't find it tedious, but it almost flipped it on its head, and I thought, I can't believe how important they view this part of the work. I almost thought it would be all written documents and everything about the legislation, planning, just back and forth like that. But the way you piece together the end of if you're managing a project, right at the end, how you do the review and you sit down and you meet with people and you ask for feedback and stuff. We do that every day in work. Like for me, literally every single day we have a meeting at 8:30 in the morning and we think what we can do today, what's gone wrong in the week, and we reflect on it. So that part of it, I think, will probably be my strong point. You know what my dyspraxia is? At the beginning in rugby, I could barely pass and literally like so impaired in terms of hand-eye, but you practice something, they say 10,000 times, don't you, or 10,000 minutes, you do something long enough, you eventually get good at it. So we were seeking a bit of advice and how to sort of conquer things, because at school I got given 50% extra time on tests and the computer. So obviously in the modern era, that suits me down to a ground because everything's done digitally really. So for me, the dyspraxia probably won't have a massive impact on my studying, but potentially when it comes to sort of understanding, organising and stuff, maybe then I'll have to seek a bit of help. I guess rugby's the easy bit. I know how to do that reasonably well. This has been a bit of a challenge, balancing studying again and actually trying to not just read the information, but take it in and keep it on board. But got a 10 out of 10 on my first quiz, straight off the bat. So I was happy that you see the fruits of your labour, don't you? Like you do it once and you get 100%. I did it twice just for good measure, but stuff like that is what I guess spurs me on. And obviously when you have a family as well, you want to have a bit of a legacy. I guess that's also comes with the development and stuff like that. I'd love them to see what I've done, yeah, in a bit of an egotistical way, I guess. I think what I would say is I was reasonably intimidated by the thought of it. I thought, wow, it's going to be a lot to take on, which it is. Let's not be naive to that. It's hard, but it's also very helpful. There's so many tools on there, and if you do put the time and the effort into it, everything's available for you in terms of resources. That online academy has got it all. I've downloaded it all onto my laptop. I can read it when I ain't got internet, pass the time. Tough to read sometimes, but if you actually just digest it like that and you're not sort of overwhelmed by the thought of going back to studying when all you've known is professional sport for, well, I've been doing it 11 years now. So for me to change it up, I was almost a bit scared of the situation, weirdly. But yeah, I've loved it, and just, yeah, be brave, take it head on.